North London Council have sparked a debate over whether burlesque is an art form or simply sleazy titillation. With reference to the debate, Camden Council have now banned 2 of its main entertainment venues from holding burlesque nights involving nudity or strip tease, unless they apply for the same licences required by strip clubs and lap dancing bars. Councillors are claiming that such shows should now be classed as adult entertainment of a sexual nature, but this has caused a backlash from burlesque performers and the Burlesque Institute, who claim that their performance is tease and not sleaze. Fighting it all the way, they have held marches and started an online petition. I spoke to Ruby Rose, the head of the Burlesque Institute, about why she believes they have brought in this new law.
I personally don't have any idea. It's actually baffled us as to why they've done that. And the only thing that Camden has been able to present to us, they have something called Protecting Children from Harm objective as a reason as to why they were putting an adult licence on this situation, is to protect children. We all have different sensibilities, don't we? So some people may be terribly easily offended by it, whereas other people think it's the most inoffensive thing they've ever seen. I think in defence of things that do happen, I always point people towards a lot of pop videos now. I mean, you see extremely sexually suggestive behaviour in these that children have access to at any time they want on television.
How would you argue that burlesque is different from what goes on in strip clubs?
Well, obviously the striptease element, there's no difference at all, but the end result is there's almost never nudity, and routines, you have people taking clothes off, putting clothes back on again. There's a storyline involved. There's comedy. It's a full performance piece. In strip clubs, that's not the case. The end result is to get fully naked and to, provoke sexual arousal in your audience.
I went on to ask how supportive the public and their performers have been in fighting this cause.
We've had overwhelming public support, and we've had complete derision of a lot of people that just can't believe that it's so utterly ridiculous, and people just pulling together. I mean, we did a protest march on Camden, which is what I think really pushed this home and made them aware of how important it all is to the people involved in the scene, because they actually made a decision based on not knowing what the genre of burlesque was at all. So we helped highlight that to them in the march. I think it was very important.
According to Camden's policy, performers cannot take their clothes off but can be stood upon stage in nothing but nipple tassels and a G-string. The rule would threaten large-scale burlesque shows in 2 of Camden's main venues, being Kokos and The Roundhouse. I spoke to Philip Chalmers at the Coco Club about how this may affect their burlesque night and whether or not they would be obtaining an adult licence.
It seems lacking in common sense, doesn't it? It's illegal or lewd for burlesque dancers who are dancing to an non-striptease crowd to have an adult life. It really isn't the same as what goes on in strip clubs, The majority of our audience is actually women. It's empowering to women.
The new law does not seem far off the controversy which took place in Soho in the 1930s over how naked women could appear on stage at the Windmill Theatre. If the performers did not move, they would be classified as art. But if they moved, their shows would be sexually charged and therefore banned. I spoke to local Camden residents about how they feel about the bill.
And it really gets an audience going, really warms up the night. It wasn't sleazy, it wasn't dirty.
Well, I think just stripping is just stripping. It doesn't matter, whether you're getting all, if it's dirty or it's not. It's stripping. It's all the same thing. I don't think it really needs a license. I would go and see it no matter what.
Not really sleazy at all. It's just teasing, really, isn't it? I'd just call it I wouldn't really say it's X-rated at all. It's just generally something, quite calm.
I don't think it should, because it's nothing like a stripper in a normal club, like Spearmint Rhino or somewhere. They never really get naked. The most they ever do is get their breasts out. And it's more sensual than trying to actually turn you on.
The council said it is not opposed to venues hosting burlesque, but new guidelines meant that they must have the appropriate licence. I spoke to Jane Blade about the reasoning behind this new bill.
Camden Council is not preventing burlesque performances in any premises in the borough. It embraces the diverse entertainment obviously on offer in Camden. Our concern is to ensure proper regulation of the premises, proposing to offer licensable activity. Our focus is actually on the premises and not the performers. It is the responsibility of the venue's licence holder to ensure that they have the correct permission for the event that they are actually hosting. Burlesque performance in its widest form can include various art forms, and this alone would actually not require a licence. That's not what we're saying. but the council's main concern is with any performance which may actually involve nudity. And the council looks at each application on an individual basis to assess actually what type of licence is genuinely required. The council has met with the burlesque community, and we've tried to be very sensitive to the issue, and in response to their concerns, and basically we've agreed to seek a clearer understanding of what actually constitutes as adult entertainment. This will help define basically what reasonable measures premises should be putting in place prior to putting on adult entertainment and certain performances which are being performed in their venues. But there is a further meeting between the council and the Burlesque Institute, which is actually scheduled to take place in September this year. So it's still up in the air what is actually going to happen. And basically we'll all try and work together in order to reach a decision which keeps everybody happy.
Burlesque has been around for hundreds of years and has become more and more popular in the 21st century, with performers such as Dita von Tease being a great figurehead for the art of burlesque. The council will be meeting with the Burlesque Institute to discuss the bill in further details this September.